tarot readings since it's been a while. Did I do free questions for September? I think I did. Don't quote me. I'm doing my best. We're going through a lot of shifts right now. We'll just catch up while we wait for people to enter the room. I didn't tell Instagram. I didn't tell TikTok. I didn't tell any of my clients. I just happened to have time, and I was like, well, kind of feels like a good time. I don't know. Been strategizing. I always have like conflicting feelings with this card as an air sign. Technically, it is an Aquarius card. Oh, yep, there's my conflicting feelings. You guys see it? Not knowing what to do, fearing, strategizing, planning, moving, deciding, all kinds of things. I was on like a 3-hour phone call with my mentor, Miriam. Thank you so much, Miriam, for that. Like, and just everything, not just what you do for me, but for other people. And I'm so glad that she has Heather on her team to be there physically to take care of her. I really I don't know, I don't want to call her like a mom, but she feels like mother energy to me. I just feel so loved and taken care of. You know what I'm saying? Definitely healing something in me. But she was counseling me, basically, and looking at my chart and talking about some business stuff. So I am planning to merge and shift more onto their channel eventually. We were talking about the foundation of what we want this to look like and the reality of our human limits lately. And that's what I think a lot of people in the collective have been feeling since this recent eclipse shift. I do have very heavy Pisces and Virgo placements, so this was already occurring in my daily life already, but it was definitely pushing and emphasizing that. So not idealizing my dreams anymore and realizing what my human limits are and what that means. And does that mean that I can't achieve those goals? No, it doesn't. It's still, I think, very possible. But I think with Neptune moving, the illusions have fallen away, and even delusions and idealizing of the self in our own dreams and being more realistic. I've been really looking at stuff like that. And some of it's been really hard to look at, you guys. Especially with what's going on in my chart. I think the best way I could describe it while being vulnerable enough but still keeping my privacy while I work through this process is every person that I meet is a mirror. And I think that's like a good way to look at life in general. But for me, it's felt like a fun house of mirrors. And it's been a lesson on how I'm able to discern my intuition, like how good have I gotten really? You know what I'm saying? And now with that and all these crazy recent shifts with like mediumship and whatnot, I'm also another YouTube tarot reader out there that might not be doing just tarot. I just don't feel called to it the same way. I don't know what it is. I have also noticed a lot of people that used to be into like astrology and crystals and tarot readings that are now like suddenly Christian and degrading new age spirituality. I want to make like a whole video on this eventually, but it's such a sensitive and heavy energy topic out there right now that I just don't know if I want to put my 2 cents in. I always do, let's be real. But is it a good time? The wisdom is knowing when, I think. And I don't think now is the good time. But I guess I kind of want to warn everyone that I probably won't just be doing like this kind of tarot reading. It might be more channeling, it might be more universal messages. Because I personally think that tarot can quickly become an addiction. And I got more into this to teach people how to strengthen their intuition. So I really want to emphasize that. And I don't want to be one of those readers that's like pushing out all signs all the time. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's a few readers on YouTube that I adore, that I love, that like have that kind of routine with their readings. But at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, like, how much is it actually benefiting you? Is it entertainment? Is it, how often are you leaning into that? And are you using it as like a replacement of therapy? Because it's not. And tarot is not doing shadow work. It's not doing the spiritual work. It is only a divination tool and a portal, in my opinion. So, with that being said, I think we have enough people in the room. If you have a question for me, please be respectful in the chat. I do have one official moderator. His name is Polly, but he's a volunteer. No one here gets paid unless it's like directly with our network. You know what I'm saying? We're just here to support each other, and we believe that abundance is always overflowing. And so donations and tips, greatly accepted. My links, Cash App, Venmo, whatever, but no expectations. So yeah, who's got a question? Buddha? There's a message that's held for review. So I did change a lot of my settings recently, so good luck with that. Go do something better with your day. You know what I'm saying? What a weird question. X Powerhouse X. Is it ever a good idea to use drugs to escape life's hardships? Is that a trick question? Because I feel like obviously no. Obviously not. Hi, Liam. Does anybody have a question for me in the cards? I am a channeler. I do have some YouTube About Me videos if you're curious on my awakening journey and how I became a tarot reader. But I do more than just like psychic readings, but I do channel. I am clairvoyant. I am clairsentient. Yeah, when I got into tarot, it was more about art illustration. I never read a tarot book. I didn't even have to. When I ended up reading, it was more like tarot articles, not a book. I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. I was pretty much just spot on validating myself. You can ask anything. You don't have a question for the universe, your guides, higher self, Buddha. I guess it's different because no one can see that I'm pulling cards, but hopefully people can see the title. How to astral travel? You want to ask the cards how to astral travel? Because I could just tell you that. Are you self-published, and can you tell chat about your experience? Well, what? I'm confused what you're asking, X Powerhouse X, because you just asked like two separate, completely different questions. Are you taking personal questions right now? I'm taking tarot questions. Why does everybody want to know about me? I swear, every time I do free tarot reading questions, people just ask me personal questions, and I don't know why. So what am I supposed to be doing, Spirit? Spirit keeps like redirecting me. I have no idea how things are changing. You can tell like I'm uncomfortable. I'm very uncomfortable with this change. It's not what I expected. Did you say you wrote a book? No, I don't believe I said that. I'd like to write a book. I have about me videos on my spiritual awakening and how I got into tarot. And I said that I never read a tarot book because I automatically just bonded and channeled with the cards based on art illustrations. You know what I'm saying? Does it make sense? Ah, I see what you mean. Hey, Brandon. No, ma'am, I am not asking personal questions. I am asking, can I ask my own questions? Sorry for the misunderstanding. Sanaya? Sanaya. Yeah, you can ask like a personal reading question. We're doing free tarot reading questions. That's why we're here. Does it say it on the title of this video? I swear. Does it? Please tell me. Gaurav Rawat? I don't know how to pronounce that. Next action, crush and see. It's a weird way to word a question, but okay. I'll try my best. Sanaya. What are Sanaya's crush's next actions? I had to like move that around in my brain. What? Does tarot work on people that don't believe? I'm a believer in consent. But I guess if I wanted to know, it's technically I only need my own consent to tap in. But I don't know. I like to use tarot as a source of empowerment to map out my choices. That's how I would describe it in short and sweet, because there are longer ways to describe it. Let me focus on Sanaya. Show me her crush's next actions. Show me Sanaya. Show me Sanaya. Crush's next actions. Show me Sanaya. If you're new here, please like, share, and subscribe. Because I'm technically... Can I talk? Is Mercury going retrograde soon? Is this... I can sense something. I bet it is. Dang, a lot of cards came out for you, Sanaya. Page of Pentacles. Nine of Wands. King of Cups. Four of Pentacles. Three of Wands. Seven of Swords. 10 of Cups, Knight of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, Strength, the Magician, Queen of Cups, the Chariot. I would be very careful, Sanaya, of messing with the energy. This is you, Sanaya. You're a powerful manifester. Has your crush been in and out of your life a few times? I don't want to say this in a rude way, because you're actually very sweet. I can sense it. You're a sweetheart. You mean well. You're well-intentioned, but you are manifesting him from a shadow place. It's funny because I'm thinking of what I'm going through, and I feel really bad for you because it's not a fun situation. So I don't know if you have... I'm curious about your moon. Like, what is your sun, moon, and rising? Because there's something about your moon sign that might be reflecting off with this person. So you guys kind of bounce back off each other energetically. And so when a fear gets triggered in you, he feels the same way. You guys are like mirroring each other. You're a Leo moon. Very interesting. Okay, well, Leo's here. That makes sense. So there is like a soul family tie. You're not wrong about that. You're not wrong about what you feel and what you envision with this person. However, there's some character development still happening with this person. I don't know if this person was a friend. You guys like were kind of hot and heavy, in and out. I don't know, maybe far away. Makes sense? I do see a future conversation coming up, but I don't know. I think it's just going to be a repeated pattern. So you're asking your crush's next actions. I think it's basically going to be the same thing that you've already experienced. So I would just mind your expectations, but just a suggestion that the best way you can break through this cycle without having to experience this pain, I'm feeling mostly exhaustion and annoyance. Like you love this person, you like this person, you envision something with this person, but you guys are not getting anywhere with these patterns. And so I would suggest shadow work, because this is a mirror to you and a projection. So the more that you heal, the more that, I mean, everybody has free will, but he has to rise to meet you there, and he will not if you are not. It makes sense. So I'm a big believer in energy work, you guys. So I've successfully linked couples together. Just FYI. I've also seen couples fall apart when they're not using me anymore. Just saying. I'm not saying that you have to be with me for the rest of your life to like stay together with your partner, but I do give really good relationship advice because I'm very diplomatic in that way. I've also learned a lot from my failed relationships, and because I've always dealt with a lot of conflict and chaos around me. And so I've always been kind of a natural mediator when it's come to my like family and other people. And yeah, it's always different when I'm on the other side of things. And that's been happening a lot. So that's a suggestion, I think, for the collective. I think through the awakening is to take a knee, check yourself instead of blaming and pointing the other finger right now, because it is wild out there, you guys. It really is. So I hope that answers your question, Sanaya. We got to move on or we're going to be here all day. Yeah, so next actions, a conversation. Not too far different from what you've experienced with him before. Lover's Lane. Hello. One second. I passed my interview today, but I have to go for the training. Will I pass it and get the job and do well? Congratulations on passing the interview. That's exciting. Put intention and let it be so. You gotta change the way you word things and the things we tell ourselves, right? Show me Lover's Lane. Will they pass the training and get the job and do well? Lover's Lane. Will she pass the training and get the job and do well? Nine of Cups, but also 10 of Wands, King of Swords, Judgment. Sorry, there's like a side message. Okay, so yes, all those things will happen. However, I think you're going through some kind of like lesson with work on self-worth, how to manage your money, but also balancing everything else in your life. So the guidance here is to make sure that you're not only, like when you get this job and you work through this job, you might go through another change. Just saying. I just want you to be aware. Like, I don't know if you're like walking into this thinking that you're going to be there for 5-10 years, but not at all. It's actually a lesson on self-worth and how to manage and take care of yourself. But the good news is, congratulations. Yes, to answer your question, you will get the job. However, I do think it's going to be a very heavy responsibility. You're going to get some kind of certification and be an expert at whatever this is. But there will be an ending. Okay? Hope that helps. And congratulations in advance. You're welcome. I claim the positivity in my reading. You're welcome, Sanaya. Yeah. Hi, McKinion Stingray. Well, I am gonna get to Brandon first. 7-7, I like that. Will my friend's murder be caught? Everybody asks me the hard questions. I like that. I like that for us. Because then y'all can come back here and tell me y'all was right, right? Oh, hey, new subscriber. Welcome. Samia? Thank you. I appreciate that. I haven't been on in a bit. I do expect the channel to kind of shift and change. So if you're about that, I am looking for my people, loyal followers that are going to be with me through thick and thin and appreciate all my creative shifts because I am kind of always changing things up, to be honest. Stingray, I like that. I will do that. Thanks, Brandon. Okay, let me focus on Brandon. Brandon, my Gemini energy is killing me. Takes a lot for me to really zoom in. Show me Brandon. Will his friend's murder get caught? Show me Brandon's friend. What do we need to know about Brandon's friend and the guy that murdered him? What? Why do I have like the craziest, like suspicious feeling that you know who it is, Brandon? Show me Brandon. Aww. I felt prayer. Well, I think you will. So if it's not a suspicion that you have already, I think you will suspect someone because someone's going to move different. Show me Brandon's friend. Will they get caught? Oh, the Seven of Swords in reverse fell out. Yeah, they'll get caught. They'll... Show me more. What is this? So the Seven of Cups fell out. Temperance, the Empress, Magician, Two of Cups, Four of Pentacles. My prediction is that they were given something, ingested something, or there was something toxic in the environment. And that's how he was murdered. So I don't know if they've done like a toxicology report or whatever. Man, I would love to be a tarot reader for that kind of stuff and like solve murder mysteries. Yeah, I've had that idea. Maybe that's how my channel will shift eventually because I don't know. I don't know if like, I know that's not like legal, but I know that people have used them to solve murder mysteries. Yeah. Also, whoever it is, I think it is a feminine, if not a mother. Did you guys hear the crows outside? I do have a crow niche, and they be saying stuff. I'm really sorry about your friend, Brandon. Yeah, there will be truth and clarity, for sure. There will also be like some kind of shift and change within groups and friends because of whatever this is. Okay, I can't scroll too much or I'm going to get lost in the sauce, you guys. So I'm going to go, Brian Oliver, you're going through the same thing? I'm so sorry to hear that. We should never be hearing that kind of news twice in such a small circle right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm so sorry. Samaya, does Abai want me to reach out, or will he reach out on his own? Also, if I did reach out, our relationship would become better? Let me see. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Amanda. You're welcome, Brandon. Justice for Brandon's friend. It's crazy what people think they can get away with. Me. Hashtag justice. Samaya. Does Abai want her to reach out to her? What does Abai want Samaya to do? What is the guidance for Samaya? On Instagram, I do have a tarot post about how to ask the proper questions for tarot, and I do find it pretty useful. So if you like tarot education, if you like tarot art, I also collab with other readers, creators, and light workers over there. Go ahead and find me over there. I am trying to like not be on Instagram as much though. So I'm like, how often do I really want to say that? But I do think it is a good like data platform because that's where I share a lot of information. So if you want like more outside of like this, yeah. Hey Sarah, long time no see. Oh yeah, maybe. It has been a minute. Were you here last time? Show me Samaya, 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 Samaya. There is a power struggle with you and this person, Samaya. I'm like getting irritated. The Five of Swords came out. The Lovers, the Nine of Wands, the Tower. Why is my threads popping? Sorry, you guys. I keep getting threads notifications because I've been on there more ever since Uranus and Gemini shifted. My brain is just like sudden insights, information, clarity, randomly, all the time, everywhere. I don't know if anyone else has been noticing that for themselves, but if you have a heavy Gemini placement, you're definitely going to be feeling this a lot stronger. And I think there actually might be breakthroughs when it comes to the mind and like things like ADHD and ADD. I don't know why I felt the need to say that, but maybe that's a channeled prediction. 1 second. The Four of Swords in reverse. The Three of Cups. Okay, Samaya, basically, to answer your question, you guys will reunite. You guys will speak again. I don't think it really matters who does what first. However, there is a power struggle, and one of you guys is going to break because the Lovers is here, and you guys have a very strong bond. I do think there's things that need to be worked out. However, there's commitment here. I don't know if you guys have the same goals. And maybe that's what needs to be talked about. That's the guidance. There definitely needs to be more talking. I don't see it mattering like who does what first. Either way. I hope that helps. Waiting on your chart reading. You're going to be waiting for a while, I'm not going to lie, Brandon. There's at least 7 people I have not done that. And it was just kind of like on a whim, random. It's not a service. It's not a paid service. Therefore, I don't really feel obligated and I've been burnt out. But I would say don't rush me because the more time goes on, the more I learn. And I want to be in an intentional space when I do stuff like that. So when you do get readings from me, when you do get a service from me, you're getting the real deal and like all of my love and my energy and like accurate fucking information, just FYI. So, I was just like on a 3-hour phone call with Miriam, which we both love. And she's my mentor. And so the more I learn from her, the more I'll probably get insights from your reading. You know what I'm saying? And I am curious about Brandon's chart. I really am. Because I can like feel like he needs friends. He needs a sphere. And a lot of us do. Like, a lot of us have been regrouped and like meeting different soul family and stuff. And so trying to help navigate that. But usually there's a reason when spirit redirects me or puts me on pause. So, you know, you're always going to get your needs met. Let's just say that. Let's just say that. Stingray. Hi, new sub. Is it an energy that I feel when sometimes out of the blue I feel bad and miss him, although I don't want him? Okay, hold on. Let me get to Stingray first because... yeah, I get it. Brandon. Cards fell. How are things looking for me after the intense portals of September? Well, we're in October. October, literally? Show me Stingray. What's going on with these portals for Stingray? I think it's random. Love your hair, queen. Oh, thanks. My question was skipped twice. So earlier I explained I'm not going to scroll up because then I'll be here all day. So you just gotta catch me and I'll catch someone. And yeah, like I said, you guys, be respectful in the chat. It's not as easy as it looks. I do have a very strong Gemini placement, so it's easy to go back and forth, but also to get distracted if I'm not feeling grounded, and this was very unplanned. I'm a believer, see, I can't even talk, that you always get the message that you need from the messenger. So sometimes if I get cut off or you get cut off, sometimes I might not just be the right messenger for you. That happens. It really does. Like, me and Miriam have been cut off, and spirit will send someone in her place. Literally. And sometimes it's frustrated me, and I've cried. I've gotten mad at her. I really have. And I feel like that's a topic for a different day, about getting mad at your mentors because you're so close. Like, there's no one that knows you like that. And when they're not available, it hits a wound. It really does. And we're all just looking for clarity, right? Patience. So Daisy D, you were after Stingray. At least that's what I saw. And Manda. So that when I end Stingrays, you want to quickly comment, and whoever I see first is who will be next. Okay? Until we get more moderators. Show me these intense portals. A Stingray. Ooh, 2 of Cups. Knight of Swords, 3 of Cups. Loss of friends, a change in work, new news. A lot changing for you, Stingray. Mostly friends. It could be like friends that you work with, like coworkers. That might mesh together. I do see it being like an intense portal, but it looks like a good thing. There will be things you have to walk away from. So if there's like a close friendship or relationship, I don't know if this is romantic or not, but there's not really a bond here. I don't know, you're walking away from something that is a someone, like a relationship dynamic. I hope that helps. Oh no, my cards got mixed. That sounds freaking delightful. I I like your enthusiasm. Yeah. Oh. Okay. You guys, I'm zooming in on Daisy D, okay? Hi, new sub. Is it an energy that I feel when someone out of the blue? I feel bad and I miss him, although I don't want him. Well, thank you for subscribing. Yes, please like, share, and subscribe. It helps boost the algorithm. And if anyone is in need of a question today, I'm here to be of service. So maybe someone out there can find me. And I don't do this very often, to be honest. Sorry, I'm trying to like reword that message. I feel. So sometimes out of the blue, you feel him. That's what you're trying to say? And it makes you feel bad, and you miss him because of that, and you don't want him. Okay. Show me guidance for Daisy D. I totally understand. I totally understand. Those bonds that don't go away. Damn it. Sucks. You're welcome, Stingray. Show me Daisy D. Show me this person and this energy that she's feeling. What is she supposed to do about it? Why does it happen? Why does it exist? What's the purpose of it? What is she supposed to do? Those are the things I would ask. The Lovers, 8 of Cups. You dream about this person. The Hierophant. I had to write this stuff down, but my only friend's on his way over. Do you keep posting our questions? Dang, what is going on in the chat, you guys? Daisy D, show me Daisy D. This person wants to offer you a commitment. Ooh, got juicy. Latoya, do we keep posting our questions? I would say it's best to wait till I'm at the end. And you can usually tell when I'm at the end of a reading. Show me more for Daisy D. 4 of Wands. You're so bored of waiting. You're like so discontent. Was this like a long stretch like thing between you and this person? I can see that, yeah. You're tired of feeling this. Well, you're feeling this because he's dreaming of you. He wants a commitment. There's regrets for walking away. It could have been due to another person. It could also be due to work reasons or something like that. You say it makes you feel bad, but if you were to see this person again, the 10 of Cups is here. This person feels like family and home to you. Yes, he hurt me in the past. He left me for another relationship. Would you take him back? Because he's looking at you like the Empress. And the Hierophant's here. And the 4 of Wands is here. Nine of Swords, Knight of Swords, Knight of Pentacles. Well, something's changing. I kind of like the energy. I'm a lover's girl, if that's not obvious. So, I wouldn't let it make you feel bad. I would try your best to let go of the past and hear him out and be collaborative with this person and hear them out. Because I think he's going to make you really happy. I'm getting like giggles. I don't know. Please come back and let me know how it goes. I love to hear people's love stories. When I got my first couple married, it was like, amazing. It was funny because when Miriam was looking at my chart yesterday, she was saying, you know that you could totally be a wedding planner and be really fucking good at it. I'm like, it's hilarious because I've looked at that many times and I always think like, man, that would stress me out. Not only that, but I've never had my own wedding. So I don't even know, am I qualified? Am I qualified? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, Daisy D. Congratulations in advance. Okay. Zooming in. You love wedding planners, right? Isn't it so fun? And just celebrating love. Like, how awesome is that to do that all the time? But also, you probably deal with a lot of stress, a lot of bridezillas. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. When it all comes together, and finally kiss the bride, I think that's when everybody is just like, oh, we made it. You know what I'm saying? I still don't know what that's like. So I'm just like imagining that's what it feels like anyway. Brian Oliver, like number 9, my friend Shyla has passed away earlier this year. Is her soul at peace? Rest in peace to your friend, and I'm sorry to hear that. Show me Brian's friend, Shyla. Show me Brian's friend, Shyla. Is her soul at peace? What does he need to know? So I guess there's not a straight answer for you, Brian. Is her soul at peace? She's looking for information still. There's something missing. She's trying to get a message actually to someone, and I don't know if it's you or through you to another person. Like, I don't know if you're close with the family, because it's giving me family vibes, and you said that this is a friend. So I guess apparently your friend is lingering in the energy because she's trying to get a message to someone. So she's still here around, and spirits visit every now and then, but they're not supposed to stay. It can get very exhausting, whether it's for the channeler or the other person. I don't know if you know this about yourself, Brandon. It's not Brandon, it's Brian, right? Scrolling. Brian. Yeah, I don't know if you know this about yourself, but you have gifts. And you could tap into it if you wanted to. You're welcome, Daisy D. Thank you for your time and energy, and keep you updated. Yes, keep me updated. Let me know, Brian. I do a lot of mediumship stuff and things. There's also this thing called Ghostseer and GhostTube, and I'm not sure like how accurate it is. Do your own research, but I have played it with it myself. I don't know if that's something you could use. I don't know. Honestly, no idea. But I feel like she's trying to get a message, whether it's through you to someone else or through another person to a family member, if that makes sense. I hope that helps. Okay, Latoya, I know I passed by you and I finally see your your message. Liked 12? Oh, thank you. Does that mean you guys liked like your number 12 like? That's nice. I like that. Does your son's father, Tay, want to communicate again with you? Yes, welcome. If you're new here, please like, share, and subscribe because I'm technically a newbie to YouTube since technically 2023 is when I started doing YouTube Shorts. I'm more of a small reader on Instagram and Facebook groups. And then I started doing YouTube lives at the beginning of January of this year. So we'll see how it goes, right? She probably wants to talk to her sister, Summer. Well, whatever it is, it's not just like a hi, hello. There's like information like that's useful and important. Feels important. You're still in touch with Summer? Oh, good, good. Well, it's a gift that you have. It really is. And so maybe that's a way that you can help support her family through their grief, is to somehow find whatever that is. Oh, you're going to see it. Come back and tell me in the comments what it was. It feels like a glimmer, like a spark, like something shiny. It'll redirect you, Brian. Sorry, Latoya, I always do that. Show me her son's father, Tay. Show me Latoya's son's father. Six of Wands, Death, Page of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, but it came out sideways. Nine of Cups, the Fool. Temperance, Seven of Pentacles, the Hermit, Knight of Swords. Yes, to answer your question, short and sweet, yes. There will be a conversation, absolutely. In due time. I actually wouldn't force this at all. Like if you're feeling like wanting to rush something, I would not. I don't know why. It's a spiritual process, what you guys are going through. And I don't feel like enough tarot readers talk about the spiritual process of tarot cards. And they focus way too much on the storytelling thing, but you can use tarot for energy work and manifesting. So let me tell you how you can manifest outcomes that you want if it's in your best interest. Only if it's in your best interest, which is never violent or abusive, blah, blah, blah. Do I have to put a disclaimer? Please, don't make me. Anyway, the Hermit card is like an isolation card where you're processing things internally. The Five of Swords, and it was in reverse. It's not a fun card. It's like, if it's not violent, it's mind games, it's power plays, it's winning at all costs, but no one's really winning, right? It's that kind of energy. And then the Ace of Swords. There's a lot of swords here. I don't see a whole lot of cups except for the Knight of Cups. And what that tells me is that you guys like have two different ideas of what makes you emotionally happy. And that needs to be talked about. And so if you're like wanting to manifest like a future outcome or commitment with your son's father again, I think it's possible. However, I do see like a shift where there is a third party. So I don't know how you want to navigate this. I think this is just what they want you to know. Like, depending what you want, where you want it to go. Do you want to sit there and hope when you guys do communicate? What are you going to communicate about? Is it going to be intentional? Because that's going to be important. Because then it's going to change a lot of things. Whether that's you guys like completely breaking apart and another partner entering into the scene. Because there is more than just you and the other person. Because Queen of Wands is here. Digging deeper. Does that make sense? I hope I'm explaining that correctly. I'm always very careful doing tarot readings for like family dynamics Because if you guys didn't know, I'm a divorced woman. I have a lot of videos on the whole freaking process, and I'm still trying to like recover my life from all of that. So I never recommend like families breaking apart, but I will also not promote violence and abuse. And it took me like half of the relationship to figure out how to escape. Like I was not willingly in it. I was being blackmailed and still stalked. And yeah, so I know it's hard. I feel like I'm counseling you because I feel like you're not gonna like what happens if you don't be intentional with this conversation and really like solidify emotionally what you want with this person and what your future looks like with your kid. And maybe that's a topic of like co-parenting, which I totally understand. Okay, I hope that helps. I don't want to get too deep into it. Like, oh man, I could get into that subject all day. You're going through a divorce. I'm so sorry. I don't wish that on anyone. And the system of divorce is horrible. It's basically made to take Americans' money. It's crazy. It's so easy to just get married, but it's so hard to get a divorce. Okay. Well, that was your reading. I hope that helps. That's not what I said, but that was the end of your reading. So you guys got to have that conversation. You got to be intentional with it. I gave you guidance. I don't know. There is another person eventually, depending what you do. Everybody has free will. But yeah, if you know tarot archetypes, the Queen of Wands is the third party, always. Like even when I was reading for like my blended family dynamics, even when I was in a relationship with someone, if there was like a third party, like romantic interest, even if nothing happened yet, they pop up in the energy. You guys, it's so it's hard to explain because right now with the recent eclipse, we're on different timelines. You guys don't get that? You guys not understand that? We're like, no one's on the same timeline. Everybody has free will. So while you have like an intention and you also have a choice, the other person has their own journey, intention, and a choice. And it is so very similar to the butterfly effect. That's like the best way I could describe it. So like sometimes there's not like end all be all answers. And so I know it's unfortunate and it's frustrating, but trust me, I've had like way worse, like unclarified readings. You know what I'm saying? You can't force an answer that's not ready to be given, especially when there's choices and big change involved. But hopefully you get what you want. That's all that matters, right? Your own emotional fulfillment, because you're the only one living it, right? Right. Okay, I'm not going to scroll all the way through again, you guys, but we are hitting close to an hour. So, Sarah, I will go to Sarah. Like 13. Thank you. I appreciate that. Please like, share, and subscribe if you're new. Will Adam and me be in a relationship in 2026? Hi, James. How about you get what you need? I hope so too. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting what I need for the most part. I mean, that's what I tell myself. It's part of my spiritual recovery is just for today, I have everything I need. And it really helps with your anxiety because sometimes there's no making a choice today. And sometimes the universe won't fucking let you. I'm literally like experiencing that right now, you guys. Like there's things I'm waiting on, like I have deadlines and I literally can't make a choice because I don't have the right information. There's still other people I have to talk to and other things that need to play out and other key players, and I'm just sitting here like, well, I guess it's not happening today, right? And that's okay. And I think we can all learn from that, right? I don't remember what I said. Wait, you said what? What happened in the chat? Will Adam and me be in a relationship in 2026? Show me Sarah. James, you've been here before? Or are you just like an active chat? Oh, okay. Oh, I am Yorsha. Yushra? Hey, Patrick. Will Adam and her be in a relationship in 2026? I am Yushra. I've been calling her Sarah. Or is that like another name for you? Show me Yushra and Adam. Queen of Cups. Three of Swords. The World. Temperance. Five of Wands. Seven of Wands. Six of Pentacles. Six of Cups. You could. I wouldn't. Yushra. There's someone better. You deserve better. I don't know who this is, but their energy was not good. Dang, I hate when that happens. I'm sorry. I hate being the messenger for bad love readings. Okay, I can't leave it there. Sorry, you guys. It's not the end of her reading. You're going to have to wait. What's coming in for her then? So what should she be doing? Oh, okay. Thank you, James. I don't know. It has like a crown and a number 3. And I'm like, what does that mean? Because I've had that for myself also. So like, are you like a contributor? What does that mean? I'm so new to YouTube. Can I talk? Mercury is going retrograde. I can feel it. It's got to happen. It's always like every season, isn't it? We had one over the summer. We're going to have one in the fall for sure. Did you know, Yushra, that you have a friend that's in love with you? Number 3 is a good number. I agree. I like 3. I don't know who it is, but there's a friend that's in love with you. So you might get like a confession, and this person is actually a lot more loving and a better fit for you. However, you could have a conversation with the past person. I don't think that's a good idea, and I feel like they would cause you more problems, if anything. Just FYI. You're going to be kind of back and forth of whether you want a commitment with this other love interest, just FYI. But I think you will eventually. You might resist it. But I think you figure out what your worth is and how you like to be treated. And so whoever this other person is, that's... So when I train my tarot clients to be in the energetic vibration for a love long-term relationship, there is literally energy work that comes into it. So if you want to be the Empress, we don't chase, we attract. It's very yin energy. Anything you give the Empress, anything you feed it, she can multiply because she is a creator, obviously, because she can make a whole freaking human, right? So you want to practice yin energy, getting into that vibration, being open and willing to receive. We're always like looking for the right person for us, but we're never asking ourselves, like, are we in the proper position, mindset, mind, body, spirit to be with someone and be able to reciprocate and give equally? I think that's really important because you want to be in the right energy when you enter a relationship, and a lot of people aren't. And I'm not saying that you have to be fully healed, because that's not true, because relationships are actually your biggest lessons in life. Like, they're supposed to teach you things. You don't just like merge with someone and it's just like harmony for the rest of your life. That's stupid. That's stupid. That makes no sense. And that's why I think a lot of people fall for like the white picket fence thing, where that's what happened to me, and I got divorced. And that's how I had my awakening. And that's why I'm very particular about giving love readings, because I want to teach people the right way. And my mentor, she taught me the right way. She taught me, based on my unique chart, how I love and how I accept love. Everybody is different, and what my process looks like and what my soul evolutionary growth looks like. And it really does work. Empress is Taurus Libra energy. It is slow burn, because you can maintain things, you can grow things in that energy. Think of it as like growing your own garden and your plant. Same thing in a relationship. But we do live in a world, society, and culture that does not promote healthy relationships. It really doesn't. So you got to do your own healing work with that and cultivate your own environment. Empress energy. There's your tip. And for everyone else that has a love question today, I'm sorry. Yeah, I could see that there were things that happened between you guys, but forgiveness is also a part of love, isn't it? And when we get into relationships, I think we assume that we're never going to hurt the other person, and it's just not true. You should always try not to. Obviously, don't be abusive. Like, intentionally not hurt your partner, but it definitely will happen. You're welcome. The Storytime Kitchen. Ooh. You sound like an interesting channel. Do you have videos? Hi there, new here, like 18. What's your parameters for asking questions, please? I don't know. Do you have a question for tarot? Messages about like love, work, career, family, friends? You want to investigate something? You want to figure out a lie? You want to know the truth? You want to figure out your choices? You want to strategize? There's so many things you can use tarot for, you guys. You're needing some guidance for spiritual growth? Yes, I do have some. Thanks for asking. Ooh, really? I recently fell in love with like this random YouTube channel, and it was like, gosh, what was the title? It was like stories of women from the Victorian days, and it was like, I guess, history on how women back then got into opioids. I know that's like a really weird thing, but there was like a bunch of videos just like this, and it's like a whole channel of like these bedtime stories of like the weirdest, most boring topics. But it's actually like very soothing, and there's like a bunch of dry humor throughout the video, and it's hilarious. But it actually puts me to sleep more so than all that sleepy time music. Isn't that weird? I'm weird. But that was my most recent discovery. Anyway, I just had to share that with you guys when I saw his username. Because I was like, the Storytime Kitchen, interesting. You have a love question. I have been posting videos of me singing while I keep bees. Before that, I was telling fairy tales from my kitchen table. Oh, that is so interesting. I love that. I love storytelling. It's been so long since I've heard a fairy tale. I'm such like a mystic kind of person, and as a kid, I liked like the fairies, the mermaids, all the things that people say aren't real but totally are. Mermaids are real. I love being read to sleep, right? Yeah. James, let me get to the Storytime Kitchen. What is your question? And then we can get to James if I catch you, because we're already 65 minutes in. So there's something about someone's voice because it makes us feel safe and attended to. Maybe, yeah, I think that's true. Like even with my mentor Miriam, like sometimes I'll rewatch some of our readings and our sit down Zoom calls that we record just because her voice is soothing to me. And I like told her that, and she's like, "You're not the first person to say that, don't worry." And I'm like, "Okay, good," because I felt like a freaking weirdo. And I'm like, kind of feel like I'm in love with you. Brittany, I did not see it. I'm so sorry. Did you have a love question? The Storytime Kitchen. I told you guys I can't scroll all the way up or I'll get lost in the sauce and then we'll like get nowhere because I jump around way too much. When we have more moderators, it won't be as much of an issue, but if you subscribe and I see you in the chat consistently, I usually will notice I feel intuitively pulled to specific people all the time. So if like you're meant to be in the tribe, I will see that and I'll make you a moderator. So it's nothing all that original. I've been talking to a man much older than me for almost 2 years. I doted on him and didn't go to meet him sooner. We have recently fell out of contact after he put me in a third party. What are you asking? What's the question? That are you guys going to be together? If you're going to talk again? Hi, Brittany. I appreciate that. I'm trying to get the question out of Storytime. So, okay. The Storytime, till you formulate what you want to ask. Let me get to Brittany real quick. What was your question? Does the person on my mind have feelings for me and will he text me soon? I asked. Oh, my Lord. Okay, so on my website, you guys, for personal readings, I have emailed readings. I have pre-recorded videos where I send you a private YouTube link that you can keep forever and rewatch. And I always recommend my tarot clients rewatch and reread their readings because there will be things that resonate later that you might have not realized at the time as things play out. And that's how readings go. They're not very useful if you only see or look at it one time, to be honest. Like you want to look at readings as like a map. And so I also have virtual calls, and those are about 30 minutes long. And I brought that up because as you saw, the Storytime Kitchen was kind of like rambling out their question to find their question. And I find a lot of people don't know sometimes the right questions to ask tarot, or they don't know how to word it, or they know that they want to ask something, but they don't know how to formulate it. So anyway, that's why I have those different options. Just FYI, I'm not trying to sell you anything, but because people are more of a reader, people are more visual, and I find it really useful so that people can get the most use out of tarot, and I'm able to like pull cards for people while they're on the phone with me, and then I can kind of find like everybody is always seeking something. Our souls are always looking for something. We're always looking for answers. So it's not just like you're looking for a tarot reader. I'm just a messenger. I'm not, the cards aren't magic. I just channel. There's answers all around us. It's just a matter of being present enough to be able to see that and to be able to like, I guess ask. That's why I'm like really big on like consent with tarot readings and stuff. I know I'm rambling, but anyway, I just really wanted to highlight that because it's really important to be clear when you're asking your questions, because you can pull cards all day. Like, man, we could probably do a live if my phone would last and like it just sat on the charger and just constantly. You could never stop. That's why I'm like, you got to have good boundaries with tarot because it can be an addiction. Like if I wanted to know the answers to the rest of my life, I'm never present, you know? I would be wasting my life on just pulling cards, like trying to find answers. I hope that makes sense, you guys. Oh, I see what you're saying, Brittany. You're welcome. Hold on. So now that the Storytime Kitchen got to their question, we'll do his or hers, and then we'll get to Brittany. Just remind me, and no one blow up the chat because it's not going to get my attention. It'll just confuse me and make everyone sad. By the way, sorry, it's too much information. You just come off as a great listener. I am. I really am. It's different when it's a personal reading and we're one-on-one, but because we're on a live YouTube chat and I'm like getting like overstimulated, it's a different kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong with what you did. I'm just saying that, you know, everyone is different and sometimes it's easier, you know? And I am such a rambler like I am now. And then you get lost in the sauce and you forget where we are, right? So their plans and intentions. So your guys' communication is off. You guys are having issues is what I've gathered. Yes. That's why therapy is like a real thing, you know? It helps you sort it out and then you have someone kind of sort it out with you. Except they're qualified to do it, and I'm just kind of like doing my best as a tarot reader. Or is he playing games? Okay, I see. You want to know what are their intentions? Show me this person. Their intentions. Gosh, it's already 4:04. I'm so glad I had time today to do this, you guys. I was getting a little distraught and disappointed in myself, and I'm like, man, the one thing that you're good at is to be consistent, and you can't even do that. I was like really beating myself up about it. Gotta give it a good shuffle. This feels like a very long stretch of a dynamic to the Storytime Kitchen. That's why I feel like I keep shuffling because I'm like getting like different, I'm like picking up your guys' past and I'm trying to like get to what's going on right now, like what matters, intentions to this person. Storytime Kitchen. Page of Cups, 5 of Wands, conflicted feelings, yes. 10 of Swords, Queen of Pentacles. The Chariot, Temperance, 10 of Pentacles, one second while I scroll looking at the deets of the situation. I've been talking to a man much older than me for almost 2 years. Older man. I doted on him. Doted. And didn't go to meet him sooner. Not meeting. Because I was working on myself. Okay. We have recently fallen out of contact after he put me in a third party. Our last communication was a long letter from he didn't respond to. Is he playing a game or okay, scrolling all the way down. King of Pentacles. We do like King of Pentacles. We do. And we also like to see it with the Queen of Pentacles. Ooh, man. There's something about your reading the Storytime Kitchen that's reminding me so much of an experience that I've had. Geminis around here are going through it. Geez. Yes, they really are, Brandon. Ugh. Train and discipline your mind. Master the mind. That's also apparently a suggestion for you, the Storytime Kitchen, because is he a player? The answer was or. The answer is or. So like whatever happened between you and this person, yes, third party, yes. However, there were things that were like not clarified that you guys were committed. However, he sees you that way. He wants you that way. But there was like something that you showed him and he was supposed to sit with that by himself. And the tower being here tells me that this was more so the universe stepping in and not so much him ignoring you, not so much being a player, more so being distracted, more so not being intentional, more so shitty communication on both sides. I don't think either of you guys have been really clear about it, but you need to be. I think you're more clear about what you want. Whereas when you guys came together, this person did not know what they wanted. But however, through the experience of you, through the whatever happened between you two, now he knows. And that sucks. It does, but not all love stories are Disney. And sometimes I think we should look at Disney differently. You know what I'm saying? Like the fairy tale love stories that we see. I don't know. I've been trying to rewrite those, which I also share on my Instagram and TikTok if you like that kind of thing. I love to do skits and stuff, and the things that have been playing out with my love life as a tarot reader, you guys. I mean, goodness. I could share some tea. Okay. It's 2:05 where you are, Brittany? Okay, now we can get to Brittany. Yeah, I almost got to you, but I couldn't. Hold on. By the way, I'm from Turkey. Okay. I'm trying to find your question. See, this is why I can't scroll up, you guys, because then I get lost. Does this person in my mind have feelings for me, and will he text you soon? Okay. Such a lovely tat. This one? Thank you. I have quite a few. Oh, you guys want to see the recent ones? They're hidden. I showed Instagram, but I haven't showed YouTube. I'll show you guys real quick before we get to Brittany. Tattoo reveal. So, the back of my arm, this arm is going to be dedicated to a bunch of patchwork, and they're all synchronicities and signs that I've experienced on my spiritual journey. So, I get a lot of blue dragonflies. The cat, I had a family pet that passed away during my separation and divorce. Bunnies usually tend to cross my path in some way. And my son's pet bunny with his father died literally like right when I got my DV advocate, and they had the same name, and her name was Victoria. So that was definitely a sign. So I got Victoria, basically. She's unfinished. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with her, because I don't think she'll stay as an outline. I think I might do something different. But anyway, yeah. I love the ink. It is very healing for me. Forever art in general. My girl Liz did these, by the way. We're quickly becoming friends. And she's lovely. I love her so much. I am not a Sagittarius. I am an Aquarius sun, Virgo moon, and Gemini rising. Although I do have certain Sagittarius placements in my chart, and the girl that did my ink is a Sagittarius. So I find that funny that you brought that up. So I guess, I don't know, maybe her ink is giving me Sagittarius vibes. Right? Okay, let's finally get to Brittany's question because she's been freaking waiting forever. I'm so sorry, new subscriber. Show me her crush. What does she need to know about this person? I got to go. I'll watch the rest later tonight. I'll catch you next time. Hey, Angel Guides 1111. Thanks for stopping by. I don't know when I'll be on next, but keep your notifications on if that doesn't bother you, and hopefully catch each other soon. You're a Virgo too? Dude. I attract so many Virgos. I love that. I love that for us. Yep, you're going to be here for a while, Brittany. The Virgos in my life, they don't go anywhere. Because it's like a student-teacher relationship too, so we're constantly, you're going to be probably teaching me things too. It's my favorite part about it. Like, I'm just like a lover of learning. You're a Virgo sun? Hilarious. I knew. I was waiting to get some Virgos in my chat. Yes. That makes me so happy, you guys. I'm never going to get to Brittany's question. You're a Scorpio? I also attract a lot of those too, mostly in the last couple years. Scorpios have been aiding me spiritually. They really have. You guys are the water signs that are like, you just understand things on a psychological depth more than the average person, zodiac. Scorpio rising. Ooh, interesting. Scorpios want to date me all the time. See, we get lost in the sauce in the chat and we just like, that's why I just keep shuffling, waiting for the inspirational pull. But this is what makes lives fun, right? When we actually talk in the chat and it's actually interactive. But I do want to do like regular, reading videos. I just don't know. It's so much fun to get to know the subscribers and the followers. That's why I'm not worried about hitting a certain amount at a certain time or anything like that. Because how am I going to really get to know people? And I want to hear you guys hitting goals and what happens in your life. Give me the tea. Show me Brittany's crush. Finally. Four of Pentacles, the Wheel, the Empress, Six of Pentacles, the Temperance, Ten of Swords. LOL at the name, dude. Okay, so for people that can't see the chat that are going to rewatch this, what Brandon is talking about is the comments above him, and the username is spelled HO space LEE space FUK. And I was about to say it out loud. I LOL'd in my head. I'm such a child. I really am. I love wordplay and little things will make me cackle. Okay, hold on. We gotta get to more of Brittany. I would walk away from that crush, Brittany, if you don't want to waste your time. The Moon, Justice, Eight of Cups, the Empress again, Temperance. So do you see how I put those cards back and I reshuffled to get more messages from your reading, and you had similar cards that came out? This person is just not equipped to love you properly. So you could date this person. However, I think you would walk away and break up eventually. There's an emotional element here that this person cannot give you. They're just not emotionally mature. So, and if you do entertain it, this will happen. And it could potentially be a karmic lesson. So, if this is someone that you've already been in a cycle with, I would stop the cycle or choose differently. Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit, the Wheel of Fortune with tarot, you guys, because I feel like a lot of tarot readers see it and they're like, oh my gosh, karmic. Oh my gosh, don't pursue it because it's karmic. But a lot of long-term relationships are karmic. And if that weren't to happen, there would be a lot of babies not being born. So I think that's like really stupid advice. However, a good way to like figure out what's going on there very specifically is to check out your birth chart. If you can't do that, you could probably still do it with tarot, but it might take you a little longer and some lessons, because I think the best lesson is through experience. Like, you're not really going to know. People don't always show themselves when you're first dating, you know? So you have to like kind of waste your time to like figure it out. And you know, sometimes people are in denial of themselves, so they don't show up as who they are genuinely and authentically, because they haven't figured that out for themselves. You know what I'm saying? So it's that saying of, into me I see. You can only meet someone as deeply as they have met themselves. Empress energy. So with that being said, you could check out your birth chart and figure out what your fate degrees are, what's going on with like your Euros. There's other asteroid placements that are important in regards to love, but I can't think of it at the top of my head at the moment. But I could probably chat with you on Instagram more about this. But anyway, there are ways around it, because it feels like if you entertain this person could be like over and over again, and you just can't get rid of them. And then sometimes it can end up as like karmically a baby. You know what I'm saying? So it depends what you want out of the situation and how seriously you want to take about your love life. But I would suggest minding your boundaries and just honoring, you know, how you really feel. Like, yes, you're attractive. Yes, you can attract things, but just because they are attracted to you and they come to you doesn't mean it's for you. It's just you have that natural attraction. Does that make sense? I think people forget that when they see the Empress card. They're like, oh, don't chase, attract. Okay, but are you discerning the things that are coming at you? And also, it is like an extremely abundant card. So in reverse, it can turn into like all kinds of weird things, like hoarding, codependency, possessiveness, jealousy, all kinds of stuff. Anything Taurus energy. Like, trying to think of like the weirdest Taurus example that's come up in a reading with this. Say that you're in a relationship and you and your partner are on a diet, but your partner is insecure, so they self-sabotage you often with treats and feeding you stuff that's not good for you, because they don't want you to get hot and attract someone else that's going to treat you better. That kind of situation, that would be Empress in reverse, whether it's a male or a female, just FYI. Funny story, but explaining the shadow elements of a very positive card, right? I hope that helps. I checked out our synastry, but I don't know our fate degrees. I would look at your Pluto and your Scorpio placements. That's how you'll find out. You're welcome. Okay, it's 88 minutes. I feel like I gave it my best. I feel like we had a good amount of people in the chat that were really awesome, respectful. We had some really interesting readings. Thank you, Brandon, for stopping by and slightly helping with the moderating. But we're going to call it a day. Thank you so much for everyone that joined. If you're on Instagram or TikTok, go ahead and catch me there. I'm pretty much on all the platforms. I'm on Patreon as well, with different Patreon tiers. I'm also an intuitive coach, so if you're interested in coaching to strengthen your discernment, it is also basically a tarot bundle. So you get 3 emailed readings for a month for 6 months, and we basically use those readings to focus on your goals and get you into alignment when you want to live in your purpose and be the best version of yourself, basically. So I do have room for one more coaching member, as 2 are phasing out. No, 3 are phasing out within the next 6 months to a year. So just send me a DM or an email and let me know. But yeah, you guys have a good night. Until next time. Bye.